Hey divas, so I was reading some comments and someone said to me, what makes you an authority on diabetes? First of all, I did not say I was an authority on anything. I said I'm sharing my experiences. But some of the people who we expect to be authorities on diabetes because they studied it in school, like the doctors and nurses, don't know what it's like. They don't know what the emotional toll is. And I'm not saying, it's like saying just because you never had kids, you won't be a good teacher. Because I taught school for 23 years. I don't believe that. But I do believe that a person who has kids and who is a parent can see things from a different point of view other than just being a classroom teacher. So I feel like that is the same with medical professionals. I'm not discounting their experience, but if you're not diabetic, you haven't experienced diabetes, you don't know anyone personally in your life who is diabetic, and you can only see it from a clinical standpoint, that is different than someone who has been pregnant while they're diabetic, who is currently living with diabetes, who has to change a pump, sometimes in very unsanitary and inconvenient locations, someone who's got to pay for the medications that are actually life-saving medications and very much necessary for your survival. That is a different perspective. So what not only did this comment kind of spark something in me, but last month when I was working with the Omnipod rep to go, because I wear an Omnipod pump, I am not selling that. I'm not selling that. I'm not a sponsor. I'm not a representative. I do love it, but I'm just telling you what I use. But when I was going through the training and she was going through how much this was going to change my life and how much it was going to help me, I said, "So do you like it?" And I said, "How long have you been using it?" And she said to me, "I'm not a diabetic." And I was like, "Oh," it just, because she was talking so great about it. And I said, "So are your kids, husband, like, what's your relation?" And she's like, "Oh, I don't have anybody in my family that's diabetic, but I'm super passionate about the Omnipod products." Of course you are, because your paycheck is tied to it. I'm like, duh. But in the midst of that training, it kind of like, I was having a good feeling about her and I really was like connecting with her. But as soon as she said that to me, I was like, oh, you're just like the rest of them. I just didn't, the connection was gone. And she didn't do anything other than tell me that she wasn't a diabetic and didn't have any diabetics in her family. I just was like, you don't know what this is like. And yeah, I'm sure your product is great. I am very happy with this product, but the connection with her, the provider, not there anymore. Not to say that these places need to hire everybody who has diabetes, but I mean, hello, if you need a sales rep, I'm your girl. Like, come here. But yeah, so those of you who think that I'm an authority, I am not. I'm just a girl sharing her journey and trying to connect with people who, because I find like as I'm going through some things with managing my diabetes and my menopause, there's no one to connect with. There's no medical professional that has been helpful to me in almost 3 years as I've dealt with night sweats and imbalanced blood sugars, nighttime lows. The solution was to put me on a continuous glucose monitoring pump. But that didn't address like my other issues with menopause and how that is impacting my diabetes. So I thought building this community, sharing my struggles and successes and just journey with other women would help me build a community as I transition in this part of my life. And I'm sure if I'm not the only one. That's all. I'm not the only one, and that's what this is meant to do. So if you want to make that connection, make sure you do all of the things. And if you don't, and you're like, "Who's this know-it-all?" Go ahead and swipe. And I wish you well. And I'm gonna be here if you ever want to come back, or hit me up in the DMs if you ever have a question that a person who's actually lived with diabetes for 12 years. I was pre-diabetic 5 years before. If you ever have a question, and look, I'm happy, healthy, thriving. Do I have a little belly weight? Yes, I'm in menopause, but I'm trying. I'm working on it, and I'm willing to just share my experience and share my journey.